So this next transformation is really where Photoshop gets amazing. And so I'm back on my relaxed pose. I'm going to make a duplicate layer. And this layer is going to be where I play with proportions. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead, got that set up. And the goal is to just figure out how to do this. There's different places where you can adjust the proportions. You could play with the shoulders or the chest area, the waist, hips, thighs, anything that you want really. And one thing that may be helpful is to zoom in. So you want to be able to get to the area where you want to be working and see it clearly. Okay, so I've zoomed in a little bit, and I think I'm going to work on this waist and high hip area. So I'm going to use the lasso tool, selected that, and I want to select the area, the specific place where I want to do some edits. And so basically with my picture, I'm going to grab this area that's in between the arm and the hand. Okay, so it's selected, and then I'm going to go to Edit, Puppet Warp, and it's going to put this kind of mesh over it. And actually, I think I want even more zoomed in, so maybe even a little bit more than that. I just want to be sure that I can really see what I'm doing. And just know you may want to zoom in when you're working and then zoom out to double check your work. Okay, so the fun part here is you're going to select this mesh, and I don't want that dot right there, so I'm going to remove that pin. And you want to put what it calls pins at kind of the key areas where you might want to move things. So I definitely do, both ends and possibly in the middle a few, because each of these can be dragged and pulled out. So I can just highlight, click on this middle one and pull it. And that may or may not give me the effect that I want. That actually did a pretty decent job for me. I might come here and do this one slightly, and you can move them not just in and out, but you can move where they're located. You can really do quite a bit here. So like you'll see here, I could even pull this down here and bring this out a little bit. So I just want to check that it's looking like, a smooth kind of body line. And depending what you're editing, you may want to pull out so you can see better, but that looks pretty good. And you'll notice that compared to the other side, I didn't make a huge adjustment, but I definitely did adjust. Now, since I moved this hip over slightly, I will want to come down here and adjust this a little bit too. So I'm just going to highlight part of this thigh area and do the same thing. So go to Edit, go to Puppet Warp, and once again, that part that I'm most concerned about is that area, I want this to line up. So I'm going to scoot this over so it looks like it lines up with where my other line is. And I'm, cleaning up my sketch a little bit while I'm at it. Maybe slightly over. That's where the zooming in can really help, and so the goal is just to make some kind of fine adjustments so that it's not super noticeable. I'm going to scroll back out or zoom back out so I can see, the full effect. And it looks pretty smooth. There might be a little bit of a bump here by the knee that I could have fiddled with a little bit more. And I would want to do, similar on the other side so that